Hey guys, hope you're doing excellent. Welcome to another live with another client of ours that we're going to be doing an interview with. We've been doing about one or two of these a week. Basically, our main goal is to just help you guys understand the proof is in the pudding, as it were. And so I'm super excited to bring Jessie on. I'm going to actually see if I can bring her on right now. For a while, she worked with us in CCI, so let's get her on. And I'm super excited. Hey, Jessie.
Hey,
How are you doing?
good. How are you?
Doing great. How's your morning going so far?
Good. I've got my coffee, so we're off to a good start.
Fabulous. Everyone, Jessie's from Australia, and so it's a little bit early where she's at. So everyone give some, say hi below so that she feels loved. But anyways, it's been a quick second since we chatted. How have you been?
Yeah, good. Ticking along good as usual, which is nice. So we're back into lockdown again for a second time.
Yeah,
So,
I heard.
yeah, where I'm from, it's back for round two.
There you go. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, and hopefully that ends pretty soon. I don't, yeah, I can't, wouldn't want that on anybody. So
No.
that being the case, I'm excited for you to share something today. I'm excited for you to share a little bit of your journey, your business a little bit. So before we dive in, let's go ahead and just give people a bit of a picture of like what you do, who you are. So kind of give like
Yep.
an intro, and then we'll get going from there.
Cool. Oh, I feel this is so like I hate having spotlight on me, but so basically I was a face-to-face personal trainer and then
Right.
decided to go online,
Yeah.
helping women online, and then I worked with I was, let's just be straight up, doing terribly for a little while. I was way undercharging and stuff like that.
Right.
I did get a business coach initially. This was over 12 months ago, who basically helped me create my program and my offer, and I launched that.
Right.
And that really, really helped. But for the last kind of like 8 months, I was stagnant at around anywhere between 8 to 12K months, like just really couldn't get above that. And I really wanted to take it to the next level. And one of the things that I told you when I first came into the program was I had a great program package. I had a really good
Yeah, you
offer.
did.
I was doing the old post and hope someone would come by, basically. So I was just posting a lot on social media, and all my strategy was like, oh, like, how do I make more engaging stories? Or like, so someone wants to buy. It was all like, how do I make people just want to buy, and just hoping for the best. I had no method to get a client, basically. So
Right.
that was my issue. Yeah. So
For
basically
sure.
what I do now is we do 3-month programs designed to help women that's like my niche. We just work with women, helping them achieve not only body composition goals through nutrition and training, but also working on their mindset to improve
Yeah.
their body confidence, to unlock any limiting beliefs and things like that as well.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't know if I told you this enough, but I actually really like your program. Like,
Thank you.
I mean, I love all of my clients, but your program is really awesome with giving, like, there's a lot of mindset help. There's even some spiritual help. There's a lot of that internal stuff that I think is so needed. And I think you do a really, really, really good job on that. And
Thank
so
you.
just wanted you to know that. So now I love that you explained a little bit before CCI. So, and I mean, you had a decent business because I mean, you're good at content. I mean, just straight up, like you're good at posting on Instagram. You got a good amount of people following you, and you're good at what you do. And so you had a decent business already, but it wasn't something that was scalable because number one, we didn't have a flow, and number two, we didn't have like numbers behind it that could actually allow us to understand how to increase it. So now, before we dive into what we taught you in CCI and kind of the main things that helped you grow, talk to me a little bit about your decision to actually hire CCI. Because, I mean, there's a lot of business coaches out there. I mean, you had worked with some previously. So why did you decide, I want to do CCI, I want to work with Ruben and his team? What was the thought process behind that?
This is going to maybe be a really unhelpful answer, but gut instinct.
I love
Um,
it.
yeah, I just, after speaking about it, because I'd actually probably about a month before I got on a call with you, I'd got on a call with another business coaching program.
Right.
who I had a lot of respect for the coach and from afar, from stories. And I was like, oh, I just really want to work with this person. Got on the call and I was just like, oh, damn, like that didn't feel right. And then after we got on our call, I got off and I just said to my partner, I just feel like this is something I have to do. That was the main thing. Obviously, also like reviews and things like that I'd seen. Just the reviews and basically that you'd said you could help with a system to get clients. And that's where I was lacking. I was lacking with systems, numbers, data. I'm like all in on the creative and the emotional and the coaching. And when it comes to data and tracking, I just had no clue.
Totally, for sure. And that's, I mean, it's kind of our classic, our motto at CCI is always like, we want to help the heart-centered entrepreneur become business savvy. Like that's our main whole thing. And that's why I said, I love your program. I love what you're doing in the world. And it's honestly, it makes such a good fit because I honestly want to serve people like you because I honestly want to see you change the world for good. And so, hey, you went off your gut instinct. That's okay. I mean, obviously you checked for reviews and stuff like that. And that's good to check for. But going off a gut instinct, I think is often actually really important. Because if it doesn't feel right, like a lot of people push forward because they think it's their mindset that's holding them back, when actually it's like their self telling themselves not to do it. So anyways, I love that. So now you obviously were in CCI for 3 months. You got some great results. I kind of shared some in the caption above. But before we talk about monetary wins and stuff like that, let's chat a bit about what were some of the biggest takeaways or the system or the strategy, or what was it that was like, this is the best thing about CCI, besides, I mean, obviously the coaching and the interaction, which I hope was enjoyable in and of itself. But what was like what some of the biggest takeaways for you?
The two biggest for me was the learning the loop method, basically just because it's a system, it's something that I can follow, and I know that if I hit these X metrics, I'm going to get X clients. Like I just never imagined I could have something in the coaching space. Like, I don't know, you look at product or businesses that sell product and things, and it's like, there's like a system, but I just felt like there wasn't a system as a coach. It was just, I was just always going to be stuck in post and hope. So like really nailing the loop method and knowing that I can ramp up clients or pull back on clients based on like how many metrics I'm putting into that. So that's definitely up there with number one. And then number two would probably be tracking and learning what to track and how to track it and things like that. Like when we came in and did an initial review of where my business was at, and we were talking about like percentage of people that I was outreaching, or percentage of sales calls I was getting on, percentage of how many sales calls I was closing. I was like, I don't know. Like I wasn't even tracking calls that I was having. I wasn't even tracking sales calls, or so I didn't know how good my close rate was or anything like that. And we worked out that I do have a really good close rate. Just wasn't getting on many calls and things like that. So it was just really good to track and see, because when all the numbers are in front of you, you can see where you're strong in business and where you're weak in business. So for us, we like obviously had to amp up lead generation, which is where the loop method came in. So
exactly. And that's so important. I mean, for all you guys watching, but like, it's so important to know your numbers, not only because they'll show you the weak parts of your business, but they'll also show you the strong parts of your business, which you should feel great about. You should celebrate. And it's interesting because like for you, you had a great close rate. Now, if we wouldn't have known that, if we wouldn't have tracked that, we might have just thought, I just need to do better on sales calls, but maybe we wouldn't have known that lead gen was a problem. And so basically, I mean, you never know the issue until you actually know the details. So now, one of the second things that we really worked on with you is I always talk about it as like what got you to 6-figure run rate wasn't going to get you to a double or a triple 6-figure run rate. And one of the biggest things for us was outsourcing and understanding that parts of our businesses, we have to let go of control, right? Yeah. And so talk about that a little bit, because I mean, I'm sure there's some people who are watching who are maybe going to go through that soon, or they're going through it now. So what are some of the parts that you have to outsource and the process of that?
Yeah, awesome. So again, this is probably one of the best parts of CCI as well, having you there to be that sounding board to say it's okay, and kind of have a leader of someone who's already been through it for you and things like that. But in order to hit my goals, I couldn't take on more clients without my fulfillment dropping, and fulfillment's obviously really important to me, my business. So I obviously had to outsource getting some co-coaches on board, so that I could give them extra clients and things like that from a financial point of view. And then also we spoke about, I think it got to about week 6, my business had boomed so much, all the overwhelm came in, and that's when I outsourced a VA. So I basically, so for anyone listening, I know it's probably really scary. I know for me, it took me maybe 2 weeks after you planted the initial seed for me to actually do it. I just had a really huge block and a limiting belief that I won't find the right person. I won't find someone who cares about the clients as much as me, can get the results as much as me, and will care about my business as much as me. Like, I can't get that trifecta. It's not going to happen. And so that held me back. And then just all the fear, what if this doesn't work? What if, all of the what ifs. But I did a call to action on it, got quite a few like applications and stuff like that, and hired my first co-coach, Talia, who filled up pretty much straight away. So we then got a second, and I've now got my third. So within that 3 months, I've got 3 co-coaches, and I currently have 2 VAs. So
that's crazy. It's honestly, I mean, your growth was exponential because you had it all sitting there. A lot of people actually, they have a lot of potential just sitting there, and it's more so you need to tap into it, right? And so I know sometimes we don't always like want to just talk about the financial wins, but I do want to just quickly mention the growth you did see just once, and then we can move past it, because sometimes I know heart-centered entrepreneurs often don't like talking about money because it's like I want to serve people. But what was the growth that you did see financially?
Yeah, well, I think the benefit out of the financial stuff is I've actually was able to just like give cash to my mom, and be able to just like give her money to support her and stuff like that. So making, like, honestly, doesn't matter whether you're heart-centered, cash is freedom. So you can support other people and give back and things like that too. So but I respect that that that's something for me that I don't like to focus on. But yes, so I've got my figures in front of me. So in the 3 months working with you, I did, and this is cash in bank, not projected, $74,875.
Wow, almost 75K in 3 months.
Yep. So I was going, as I said, from averaging 8 to 12K months. My biggest ever month I'd ever done was 16K. That was like a rare month. And then going up to minimum 20K within CCI. So my first 4 weeks with you, 21K, second week was 27, and third was 26.
Awesome. And that's, I mean, honestly, it's a massive, like, you should be proud of yourself for actually, I mean, seeing that kind of growth. And there was a lot of things you had to grow into as far as letting go of control and like hiring a team. And now you have, I mean, how do you have like 4 or 5 people working for you now?
I've got outsourcing 2 VAs, and I've got three co-coaches. Right.
And here's the cool part that a lot of time we don't talk about, which is you're actually helping support like 5 people, whether it's like partially or almost some of the people you're paying almost, I mean, a decent chunk of change to. And it's so cool that you can employ people, especially with what the world's going through. You can make a massive impact. And I mean, yes, the byproduct is you do create some financial freedom for yourself and for whatever ventures, giving away to family, whatever it is that you want. And I mean, that's what business really should be about, right? So I'm just so proud of you thinking about how much you grew. And so I'm not going to keep you much longer. Just one last question for the people that are watching right now, and they're heart-centered entrepreneurs like yourself. What's one of the biggest change that they can make today or in the next month that would help them start to gain some traction to where they want to go?
just backing yourself and investing in yourself. I 100% like I've said to my partner, would I get to where I am right now on my own? Probably, but it probably would have taken me 5 years instead of 3 months. So
Totally.
fast tracking that. And I just so strongly believe, like, you know, me and all my woo-woo-ness, but I just wholeheartedly believe that what you put out, you receive back. And if you put out that you're not worth investing in, like, who's going to invest in you, you know? So when you invest in yourself, that energy flows back and people wanting to invest back in you. And like, it's just one of those things that's scary, but if you don't feel frightened, you're not really getting out of your comfort zone. So it's, invest in yourself, invest in coaching. Like, it's just a way to definitely fast track. Yeah. Don't let fear hold you back.
Yeah, totally. No, you explained it perfectly. Investing in a mentor, the main thing is just buying speed. That's really what it is. It's collapsing the amount of time it would take from get to point A to point B. Because they already know it's kind of like, it's like I just moved to the mountains. Like, it's like if I was trying to go on a hike to get somewhere versus having a guide. Like, a guide would take me there in 2 hours, but if I tried to figure out my own, I might get lost. I might not be as confident, so I wouldn't be going as fast. And so there's just, I mean, it's just you're buying time. And time, I mean, the beauty of it is you can never make more time. And so, I mean, any way you can collapse time, the better, in my opinion. So anyways,
100%.
now I'm just ranting and being all philosophical on myself, but Jessie, thank you so much for being on. I know it's early in the morning, and I know you have a lot of stuff to do. I mean, you're running a pretty big business right now, so thank you so much for being on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Proud of you. Excited to see where you take all of this. And guys, if you're listening to this and you have any questions about what it was that helped, I mean, more detailed, I mean, you can definitely reach out to myself. Maybe even Jessie would be willing to field a question or two. Don't pepper her too much, because she has a lot of work to do. But thank you for being on. Guys, thank you for watching. If you have any questions about working with us at CCI, definitely feel free to reach out. We're very non-pressured. Actually, I'll ask you, Jessie, because when we got on our first call, did I pressure you to buy? Because I think a lot of people don't like to be pressured.
No, I asked you how much the investment was and all the questions. I feel like after our first call, and that's actually what helped me buy. As I said, I've been on a call with a few business coaches. It was a sales call, whereas with you, I actually walked away. You gave me a tangible thing to implement into my business, like real, just free advice. And I went and applied that straight away. And that's when I came back to you and was like, how do I get amongst this?
There you go. So if you want to have, you can call it a value call with us to just hear how we think we can help you grow, give you some advice. Definitely feel free to reach out, because we're not in the game to pressure people at all. So anyways, that's the last thing I will say, because I can be long-winded, but everyone have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you, Jessie, and we'll be chatting soon, okay?
Thanks. Bye.
Awesome.